Hi, I'm Rabbi Ari of Temple Shalom in New Milford, Connecticut, and let me tell you what we've got going on this week. Today's Monday, and we will not be having the scheduled board meeting for this evening. There's really only one fairly important matter that we had to discuss tonight, and a number of people weren't able to make it, so we're discussing that one matter by email rather than convening an official meeting. And on Tuesday at 9 a.m., I have my out-of-the-office hours at the Bank Street Coffee Shop. Tuesday afternoon at 4, we begin our Tuesday Hebrew program. Very exciting. Wednesday, we've got choir at 7:30 p.m. By the way, the choir sounds terrific. I mean, this is a really musical year for Temple Shalom. The high holidays are going to be phenomenal. On Friday, we have our Kabbalat Shabbat services at 6:30, as we always do. We have guests this Friday from an organization known as the Rescue Candlewood Mountain Organization. It was about a month and a half ago. I gave a sermon on the subject about the concern for Candlewood Mountain, and we have representatives from this organization who are going to speak in conversation and dialogue with me in lieu of a sermon Friday night. Should be interesting. On Saturday at 9:30 a.m., we have our Torah study group, the best Torah study in town, I guarantee it, followed at 10:30 by our Shabbat morning services. I'm delighted to say that Cantor Laura Bresnik will be joining us. Saturday night, we have our community slichot services at the UJC in Danbury. They were up visiting with us last Friday for Cantor Laura's installation, and we'll be visiting with them to share in slichot services on Saturday. That's 8 p.m. on Saturday. And then on Sunday at 10 a.m., the Jewish Journeys program is going to be meeting at Averill Farm. There's a link to the address below. In lieu of our regular Jewish Journeys program, we're going to pick apples, and I'll bring a bunch of shofars. We could practice sounding the shofar together. It's a nice way to ring in the new year. Incidentally, even if you're not a member of Jewish Journeys and you don't normally come on Sundays, if you want to come apple picking with us, please do. It's going to be a really nice day and a lot of fun. It's just a nice way to get ready for the high holidays. I have a link below to the September bulletin, and there are a number of upcoming events I just want to make sure everyone knows about. On Tuesday, September 12th, that organization Rescue Candlewood Mountain is having a meeting. There's a link to that below. On Thursday, September 14th, some of my colleagues, the clergy in New Milford, with support from Mayor Groenbach, are trying to form an organization called Hate Has No Home in New Milford, or Hate Has No Home Here, or something like that. So there's a meeting on Thursday at 7 p.m. at the town hall, and we're hoping to have a good turnout for that. It's in response to the unfortunate incident at Thompson's recently, where there was a swastika and a racial slur put on the outside of that fine establishment owned by wonderful people, and it was beautiful to see the town pull together in support of David Thompson and his family and the establishment. And there were calls at the synagogue when the mayor spoke and throughout the community for some sort of an ongoing organization that would provide programming throughout the course of the year for people who want to celebrate diversity. This is a nonpartisan, apolitical group, and I'm really looking forward to that meeting Thursday night on the 14th. Of course, we have our community slichot service September 16th. We have a link to our high holiday calendar with all of our high holiday services. Incidentally, we're the only synagogue I've ever heard of. There are no tickets for the high holidays. If you want to come join us for the high holidays, come join us for the high holidays. It's a small congregation in a small Jewish community. We have a seat for you, and we're glad to have you come join us. If you'd like to make a donation to the synagogue, that would be most welcome. But we just want to make sure that we got Jews in the pews. So please come join us for the high holidays. We have that whole schedule there, as well as a separate schedule with a calendar for families with young children. Of course, we also live stream all of our services, and we'll have live streaming within the building, in our youth lounge. If someone has a kid who likes to play with Legos during services, you could watch the services down there. We have a link to our Sukkot festivities for October 4th. We also have a link to our Simchat Torah festivities, October 11th. And we have a link to my Limud sneak preview of all the courses I'm going to be teaching over the course of the year. We have a media section indicating that we have live streaming services for all of our services at Temple Shalom. You can just go to our Facebook page and you can see that. And we also have a link to the services we recorded last Friday with the installation of Cantor Laura Bresnik. It was really a phenomenal service, very musical, a momentous occasion in the history of the congregation when you think about it. The first time we've ever hired a cantor. So that's very special. If you were not able to be there, watch the video. It's really just fantastic. And we have a number of mitzvah opportunities available to people. First and foremost, we have a link to 5 Jewish ways to help after Hurricane Harvey. We look forward to having a similar link in the days to come with 5 Jewish ways to help after Hurricane Irma in Florida and thereabouts. But in the meantime, we have those various ways to help in Texas. And then we have a link to our Underwrite an Hour campaign, a link to the Machzor Mitzvah Drive, a reminder that anyone who would like to make a donation of any amount to any of the funds that we have here at Temple Shalom, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're welcome to do so by just going to our website and clicking on the PayPal link there. We're glad to make that available to people for your convenience. We also have a Big Y fundraiser, an opportunity to, if you're going to be purchasing groceries at Big Y, then there's an opportunity for Temple Shalom to receive a 6% kickback for that. If you just write a check to the synagogue for any amount, we will get you a card to Big Y for that precise same amount, and Big Y will give us a kickback of 6%. We also have an Amazon kickback. If you're going to be purchasing any large purchases on Amazon.com, consider going to TempleShalom.org first, clicking on the Amazon link before you make that purchase, and that way we get a kickback from that. And believe it or not, by the end of the year, that ends up being like $1,000 that goes into our general funds. Every bit helps. We also have a link below for if you know anyone who would like to join Temple Shalom. It's now even easier to do so than ever before. All you have to do is go on our website. There's a link to that below. We wish everyone a Shavua Tov.